Hey everyone, Jesse here. Wanted to do a video, it's been a while, but basically wanted to do an easy flood and drain bed for any kind of pond system, aquaponics system. Here's an example of one. And basically you can see the pond pump right there. It uses a 1/2-inch irrigation fitting for a swing arm, and you can just get those at Home Depot. It uses a rubber swing arm or it's for irrigation. It's called swing arm pipe, I guess, rubber pipe. It's inexpensive, it's super durable. So the 1/2-inch barb just screws into this pond pump. This is a 400 gallon per hour aqua pump. I think I've linked them before, just on Amazon. They're about $30. They run really well. I usually take out the filter and then just run it. So that pipe is going up into a 1/2-inch bulkhead fitting, and that 1/2-inch bulkhead fitting just has another angled irrigation barb 1/2-inch. So the line from the pump all the way to the I guess the intake, we'll say, it's all 1/2-inch. And then conversely, on the flooding side, I just have a 3/4 inch bulkhead fitting, and I just put this pipe on top for now to prevent anything from plugging that hole up. The pond pump itself is running on a mechanical timer. The timer is running every 15 minutes during the day for 15 minutes. So you can see that. So when it's down, the little tabs are down, it'll run. And so I can reliably assume that this will flood every 15 minutes during the day, turn off, the bed will drain completely and have some time to not be running. I can show some other instances of this. So this is a bigger version. I think I have a 1-inch bulkhead on this side just because this is I think it's a 50-gallon stock tank, and probably a 3/4 inch intake, but it's running the same pump, the same idea. It pumps up there on a timer every 15 minutes. As soon as it hits a certain level, it'll start draining. And you can see that this one is a smaller version of what's already been done. These are concrete mixing trays. And if we take this out, you can see that that's the 1/2-inch intake that's pumping water in right now. Put the tap on. And there's the bulkhead. So I even put on a 3/4 inch PVC nail to slip, just to raise the water level. So you could put a PVC pipe on top of that and raise the water level even further. But basically the point is that I'll put in pond plant aquatic baskets or whatnot, put cuttings in there and root cuttings. So you can see these are all cuttings that are rooted that I probably need to get out of here, and along with some pond plants. Those ones in the back are super big, so you can propagate plants super easily. That one I need to retrofit, and I can put in a T with that rubber pipe and then run the intake up to that one. I think in total the concrete mixing trays $7, pond pumps $30, all the fittings, you're probably looking at about $60 to complete everything, depending on what kind of material you want in here. So relatively inexpensive for a complete flood and drain system. So let's go over here, see some of those parts. So here's the 3/4 inch bulkhead. So if you turn it upside down, you will have about that much to raise the water level if you put it in. Or conversely, you can set it that way and you'll just have like a 1/4 inch water level. So on the opposite side, I will do the 1/2-inch bulkhead. And so that's where this is a straight 1/2-inch irrigation barb that'll screw into the top of the pond pump, and then that rubber irrigation hose will go on top of this. And you also have these 1/2-inch barbs as well. So if you need an angle, you can do that. I'll typically put this on top of the bulkhead and screw that in so that when the pump's running, it'll just squirt sideways. It won't shoot all the way up into the air. And then you also can get these types of fittings if you need to do that. So I think each of these fittings are like $1 at Home Depot. This is Rainbird irrigation barb. And then here's the PVC fittings. So this is the 3/4 inch. And so that can just screw right into the top and raise the water level. Or if you wanted to do that at the bottom, you could screw it in there and run like a 90-degree 30-inch thing or whatnot, 3/4 inch 90 to send the water somewhere else when you're done. So let's go ahead and we can go ahead and install one of these. Let me just get all this stuff out. And you just use a simple hole saw bit, I don't know what it's called. And just match it up with the size of the bulkhead that you're doing. So for this one, this is the hole saw bit, a piece of cardboard in there. And for the bulkhead itself, I'll just kind of match it up, stick it in there, see if it'll cover. So I got about 1/4 inch on all sides, which is perfect. In this case, for this specific 3/4 inch bulkhead, I'm using a 1 3/4 hole saw, and I'll just kind of place it in the item and maybe like 1 inch or 2 away in the middle from the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out. See if I can do this. And probably about right there. See the holes made. One thing you want to do is that there's usually some material around it. So you'll just want to get a knife and kind of clean it up a little bit. Just kind of skim off the little lip that's been made. That way it has a good seal around the whole thing. So I'll do that, clean it up, and then also you'll see on the, kind of see that on the back side. Just clean up that plastic that comes up. As best you can. It's not super important. I'll put all my flood and drain things, so even if they're leaking, they will drain back into the water. That way you don't have to worry about ever leaking too much water out. For this specific PVC or bulkhead, it's reverse threading, so it's backwards. And I will place it with the gasket on the top for this instance because I want it to sit like that. So that'll be my drain, and then I'll also put in another 1/2 inch one. I need to get another one, but and then I'll reverse thread that on. I probably went a little too close to the edge, but as long as the top sealing, then that's done. So you just want to make sure, like all the other ones, that something's filtering this so that like a rock or something can't sit in there and block it. So as long as it's wide open, the 400 gallon per hour pond pump will not overflow the bed, and you could always control it with if you had a higher pump output, but that'll work. And then you could put in the 3/4 inch piece in there to raise the water level to whatever you see fit, and put it on a timer, let it run 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off, and then you can start propagating plants. So that's the overall demo of it. If you have any questions, comment below. Thanks.